in India, hinting at a possible collaboration. Netizens, but they seem to be divided now. Is it a PR move or will it actually be beneficial for the artisan? Do they really genuinely want to help them out? All right, we're also going to cover the NCERT revision saga, which has got everyone talking. Not just that, viewers, the straight-up menace is on the rise across the country. On the other side of the world, there is a new turn in the Epstein saga, and we'll get you all the details. Last but not least, in the world of entertainment, Beyonce finds herself in hot soup now. Turns out that her unreleased track has been stolen. All that and more on this edition of Trending with me, Rakshita. Now, viewers, a global luxury fashion brand Prada seems to be in a damage control mode. Remember, viewers, we got you the story how Prada recently faced criticism after showcasing Kolhapuri-style slippers at the Milan Fashion Week without acknowledging their origins. Netizens were outraged. They even called it cultural appropriation and that it was nothing to be proud of. And now, viewers, in a last-ditch effort to save face, a 4-member team from the Italian luxury fashion brand spent time with Kolhapuri Chappal craftsmen in Kolhapur of Maharashtra. They say it was to understand the nuances of their pursuit. They visited their homes from where many are known to operate their businesses, followed by factories in an industrial belt. Now, this comes after last week's development where in a first video conference with Prada's representatives, officials from Maharashtra Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture suggested recognition of the Kolhapuri brand through a Made in India collection, partnering with local artisans, a move that Prada has agreed to. Now, it's safe to say, viewers, that some netizens are just not buying this. They are calling it a marketing move. They are saying that they are just acting nice by visiting the artisans. However, the internet seems to be divided. The other half says that this potential collaboration could be a blessing in disguise after all. They are even saying, and I quote, Kolhapuri artisans owe these platforms now with an assured revival of their art, unquote. And viewers, shifting focus now. The question is right now on the story, is history being rewritten or just retold, reframing? NCERT's Class 8 history textbook actually have been revised to include chapters on the brutality of Delhi rulers and Mughal intolerance. But it also adds a disclaimer there, noting that the content is based on historical sources and interpretation. It's not demonizing anybody. The move now has triggered a wave of reactions. The historical figures who were once described as tolerant are now updated. Now they're described in a negative manner. Babur is now referred to as a cruel conqueror. Akbar portrayed as a mixture of tolerance and cruelty. And Aurangzeb is noted for demolishing temples and gurudwaras during his rule. So it sparked multiple debates, mostly being positive. And people have asked for the removal, the Mughal content for them being too barbaric. Netizens say, and I quote, "It's good, I appreciate this." Okay, so there are multiple reactions that have come in. Many have rejected the move as well, some even calling the Mughals secular. And I have with me senior historian Satyajit Joshi joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Joshi, thank you so much for joining us on Republic TV. Sir, history has been filtered for the longest time. While we do discuss in news channels about, there have been so many instances when history has been talked about, from jizya to conversions to demolishing of temples. Everything comes to the fore when we cover such cases. But this was never a part of at least my school syllabus. And now we are seeing that things are changing. And now the history, the untold history is also being included. Many political parties are asking for practicing caution, while there are parties who are also welcoming it. Sir, as an historian, how do you see this development? How significant is it?
You see, this is an important development because as you rightly said, that we have never studied this history in our school days, but there is a time to study the right history, the correct history, the factual history, when we see the temples broken, when we see the statues, sculptures beheaded, and when the children ask who has done this, we don't have an answer to this. We need to come to the correct point, the right perspective of history. We are not abusing, nobody is abusing anyone, but whatever somebody has done in the past needs to be told correctly to the students. This is very important and pertinent. I also feel that there should not be any hue and cry about the facts being said in the history textbooks, because we are not accusing anyone who is present. It is the past has gone, but we need to understand what all has happened in the past, and that is why the books are being written like this. That's my viewpoint. Yeah.
But so how important does it become? Because I know that there will be people, and there are people who will say that, why is the center, or those behind this, busy rewriting this, or rather redrafting history. Many, as you said, that there are several insinuations made. But how important is it for the students to understand the truth in contemporary, in modern times?
Yeah, it's not the question of redrafting the history. Nobody is redrafting. It is the matter of putting the facts in the right perspective clearly. That is very important. You see, when somebody asks about jizya, we need to tell them what exactly jizya was, and onto whom it was imposed, who were the sufferers, and why they suffered, and how it was imposed, how it was forcibly imposed on people on certain castes, following certain religions. We also need to understand how women, how children were slaughtered, how they were brutally murdered. We are also supposed to tell that how in different regimes people have really acted inhumanly on people belonging to certain religion. For instance, when we talk about Aurangzeb, who can forget that Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji sacrificed his life, and not only Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, but along with him Bhai Mati Das, Bhai Sati Das, and Bhai Dayala, and they were brutally murdered, like inhumanly murdered. So who will understand about all these things? Or the martyrdom of Sahibzades, the Sahibzade Ajit Singh, Sahibzade Zorawar Singh Ji, they lost their lives in the Battle of Sirhind.
Right,
but
sir.
What about Sahibzade Zorawar Singh or Sahibzade Fateh Singh, who were brutally murdered? So all these things need to be understood. And it's not the fact that children are not exposed to other source of knowledge. They are exposed to several things which are telling the real part of history. So there will be a conflict that the child is learning something through other sources, like for instance internet, or from other books which they are reading, but in their textbook we are telling them something else which is not pertinent. That is my submission.
Joshi ji, thanks so much for joining us on Republic TV with your thoughts on that. Viewers, now we shift our focus to the other stories, other trends that are running hot on social media today. Group captain Shubhanshu Shukla shared a heartwarming post on Instagram, and I quote the caption: "Space flight is amazing, but seeing your loved ones after a long time is equally amazing. It has been 2 months since I entered quarantine. During the quarantine family visits, we had to be 8 meters apart." So those are the visuals, viewers, of the heartwarming reunion. Shubhanshu Shukla with his son and his wife Kamna Shukla after he made the successful splashdown yesterday in the Pacific. Now, singer Beyonce's vault has just got raided. And no, this isn't part of a surprise drop. Unreleased tracks by Queen Bee were reportedly stolen in a shocking music heist. Hard drives containing Beyonce's unreleased music and several other items were stolen from a car that had been rented by her choreographer during a Cowboy Carter tour stop in Atlanta last week. A bolt of lightning dramatically struck the World Trade Center as a massive storm swept through New York City. Flash flood warnings have been issued across Staten Island, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, and Westchester. Now, roads are swamped, subways struggling, The alerts are expected to stay in place till at least 9:45 p.m. today. A torrential downpour had caused flash floods across tri-state area, crippling travel by air and rail. Dramatic footage captured water pouring onto the subway platforms and in New York, leaving thousands stranded. Airports saw dozens of flight cancellations and delays, and netizens say this is Mumbai during monsoons. In northern New Jersey, rainfall was so extreme that a state of emergency had to be declared. Donald Trump is back with some unsolicited advice, only this time for Ukraine. The former US president said Ukraine should not target Moscow, hinting it could escalate the war beyond repair. His comments come just as Kiev ramps up long-range strikes deep into Russian territory. Trump's tone was cautionary, but critics say it sounds more like a soft spot for the Kremlin. He also threw in a veiled threat, suggesting US support might not last forever. Meanwhile, Zelensky has not responded, but Twitter sure has. As usual, Trump stirred the pot. The headlines followed.
The tariffs are going to go on and other sanctions go on. We shouldn't target Moscow. The tariffs are going to go on and other sanctions go on. We shouldn't target Moscow. The tariffs are going to go on and other...
Donald Trump's mic drop moments continue, this time with a side of sarcasm. At a recent press interaction, Trump jokingly asked a reporter, and I quote, "Are you a citizen? If yes, then you'll be getting a lot of money," after being quizzed on immigration. Now, the comments sparked awkward laughter in the room and instant reactions online. Critics call it flippant, while supporters brushed it off as classic Trump humor. Donald Trump just stirred another controversy. He claimed that FIFA gifted him the real Club World Cup trophy, and not temporarily, but forever. In a classic Trump style, he says that it now lives in the Oval Office, right next to world diplomacy and Diet Coke. Social media could not decide if it was satire, sarcasm, or straight-up delusion. FIFA has not officially responded yet, and no one's sure if the trophy was a replica or the real deal. Donald Trump now, as per his claim, World Cup winner and least in his own universe. We just displayed this FIFA Club World Cup trophy, winner's medal, claiming it was gifted to him. He even showed off the actual trophy as he scored the final goal himself. Now, James Gunn's upcoming Superman film has sparked a 500% spike in dog adoptions across the US. Viewers saw the loyal super pup in the trailer and instantly wanted a real-life furry friend. Shelters say families are specifically asking for crypto-like dogs. Social media is flooded with photos of adopted pups wearing capes. Gunn has not commented, but animal shelters are calling it the crypto effect. Anand Mahindra just rolled out the red carpet with a twist. Reacting to news of Tesla's India entry, the Mahindra boss tweeted a cheeky message to Elon Musk: "See you at the charging station." Now, the internet loved the power play, calling it the most polite corporate showdown ever. And now, viewers, a major cultural flashpoint unfolded as the Satyajit Ray's ancestral home in Myanmar Singh of Bangladesh was demolished, sparking outrage. The property, originally belonging to Ray's grandfather and Bengal Renaissance figure Upendra Kishore Ray Chaudhary, had been abandoned since 2014. Now, this follows the vandalizing of Rabindranath Tagore's ancestral home a month prior. India has officially expressed profound regret and offered technical and financial assistance to Bangladesh to reconstruct the site as a museum or heritage center. Kiara Advani and Siddharth Malhotra became parents for the first time, welcoming a baby girl. On the 16th of July, the couple confirmed the news via Instagram with a note and a pastel pink announcement card featuring balloons and stars. They wrote, and I quote, "Our hearts are full and our world forever changed. We are blessed with a baby girl, Kiara and Siddharth." Unquote. Singer Selena Gomez and fiancé Benny Blanco will soon be saying I do in California. The vows will be exchanged in an intimate ceremony with just families and friends. The bride and the groom are said to be officiated by podcaster friend Jay Shetty. Gomez will shine in white while the A-listers of music industry will be present. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte warned from Brazil, China and India that they could be hit very hard by secondary sanctions if they continue to do business with Russia. Now, Rutte made the comment after meeting Trump and threatened biting secondary tariffs on 100% on the buyers of Russian export unless there is a peace deal in 50 days. So he basically had threatened BRICS, that includes India, says if you're living in New Delhi or in Beijing, and he took the name of other places, BRIC members, saying that you would be hit very hard. And ladies and gentlemen, yet another case of dog menace. Dog attack has emerged today, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. A 2-month-old infant was brutally mauled to death by a pack of stray dogs in Gujarat's Porbandar, sending shockwaves across the nation. In a concerning trend, India has recorded 22 lakh dog bite cases and 48 deaths from rabies in just 2024, raising alarm over the country's progress towards a rabies-free status. According to the NCERT data, 1.75 lakh dog bite cases were reported in 2024 alone. What's more distressing is that 20% of the victims are infants and children, with 5.19 lakh cases involving those under 15 years of age. The incident has sparked widespread public outrage, with netizens reacting strongly to the surge in cases. One user even called for a nationwide campaign to sterilize and vaccinate all street dogs. And viewers, the final trending story of this show now. Epstein file saga has taken yet another dramatic turn. This time, Senate Speaker Mike Johnson, a key presidential aide, has broken ranks with Donald Trump, voicing strong support for making the Epstein files public. He says that the current administration must embrace transparency and put all the lingering doubts to rest by releasing the documents. Epstein files, viewers, have already stirred political controversy, and Trump had previously dismissed the matter, calling it a waste of time. But with growing cracks within the MAGA camp, the pressure is mounting over Trump administration.
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring.
Following the comment made by Speaker Johnson, many netizens quickly reacted to the comment by saying that watch what the Republicans do, as in how they vote, not what Republicans say on camera. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of What's Trending, viewers. And that's it from my side. Thank you so much for watching.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ, डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
Sarah, this is your space, slay it your way.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
भारत की अपनी दुकान, इंडिया सोना,
अपने देश का सामान,
इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना,
इंडिया सोना।
Indian hypersonic cruise missile. There is great news for the Indian people. India's DRDO has just perfected, has just made an extended technology, long duration hypersonic cruise missile. Quite a mouthful, but it is going to be a fistful for our enemies, the enemies of this country. It is the ET-LDHCM missile, okay, extended technology, long duration, hypersonic cruise missile. Everybody knows about the BrahMos now. In Operation Sindoor, the supersonic. BrahMos is supersonic. This new missile is hypersonic. And with this, India has entered a select league of countries like Russia, China, America, India. Even America is yet to perfect its cruise missile. India, even Iran, it is said, has these hypersonic cruise missiles, right? And they are unstoppable. In Ukraine, Russia, whenever Russia has fired the hypersonic cruise missile, no defense system, not the Patriot, nor the third American Patriot systems, Israeli, very high level defense system, have been able to stop hypersonic missiles. They are unstoppable. And therefore, India has entered a very select league. These missiles are, going to be very, very accurate. Why? We have demonstrated that. We have the Navik, the Indian constellation of 12 satellites which are up there, low Earth orbit satellites.
एक तो इलेक्शन कमीशन बैठे हैं, मैं उसको डिसरेस्पेक्ट नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन अगर कोई बीजेपी दलाली करे तो हम उसको इंसान के लिए हम कहेंगे दलाली मत करना।
Mamta warns Election Commission, says will oppose to the nail if EC calls for an electoral roll revision in Bengal. Strain in BJP AIADMK alliance. EPS says alliance with BJP is only for the 2026 assembly polls and there won't be a coalition government in Tamil Nadu after the elections. Republic accesses Juvenile Justice Board order on fatal Pune Porsche case which led to the death of 2 people. Board calls the crime serious but not heinous enough. Stray dog menace rising in India. A young girl attacked by stray dogs in Chitradurga, Karnataka. And after Congress MLA's son car rams into police constable, MLA mother defends son, cries political vendetta.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप। Play it your way. Sarah, this is your space, slay it your way.
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar.
Guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IIHM.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
ग्रेजुटी का चेक है, बस इन पैसों को हम कहीं इन्वेस्ट कर दें और रेगुलर इनकम भी आती रहे।
तो फिर फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स में डाल दीजिए। फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स चुने हुए इंटरेस्ट बेरिंग कंपनी बॉन्ड, गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड और मनी मार्केट में पैसा डालते हैं और सिस्टमैटिक विड्रॉल प्लान के जरिए आपको ऑन द डॉट फिक्स्ड अमाउंट भी मिलती रहेगी।
म्यूचुअल फंड्स में फिक्स्ड इनकम वाली बात सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Well, at the end of 50 days, if we don't have a deal, it's going to be too bad. Yeah, the tariffs are going to go on and other sanctions go on.
Donald Trump has defended his statement giving a 50-day ultimatum to Russia to end the war with Ukraine. Trump had earlier warned Russia of 100% tariffs if a deal wasn't struck with Ukraine.
And one of the reasons that you're here today is to hear that we are very unhappy, I am, with Russia. But we'll discuss that maybe a different day. But we're very, very unhappy with them, and we're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. Tariffs at about 100%. You'd call them secondary tariffs. You know what that means.
Russia did not take to Trump's warning kindly. Kremlin has called Trump's statement quite serious and that Putin will respond to it only if necessary.
Заявления президента США весьма серьезные. Что-то в них адресовано лично президенту Путину. Нам, безусловно, нужно время для анализа сказанного в Вашингтоне. И если и когда президент Путин посчитает необходимым, он это обязательно прокомментирует.
Nevertheless, Donald Trump has defended his statement and also revealed if he plans to send long-range weapons to Ukraine.
You've given Russia 50 days. What happens now? Do you talk to Vladimir Putin?
Well, at the end of 50 days, if we
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for the debate.
as an epidemic breaks out over multiple dog attacks across the country. Do human lives matter less over love for dogs? At 8:30 p.m. this evening, for how long can elites get away with crime by using political clout? 114-year-old Fauja Singh crushed to death, while the arrogant MP MLA's son, who was seen ramming into police constable, is absconding. Can the rich and powerful get away with this? And at 9 p.m. this evening, it's a massive row over illegal immigrants on electoral rolls from Bihar to Assam and the state of West Bengal. Who is shielding the infiltrators? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sucharita Kukreti. I am filling in for Arnab tonight. He's not here. The stray dog crisis in India is no longer just a problem. It has become a full-blown menace. With nearly 6 crore stray dogs roaming the streets of India, ordinary people face this threat every single day. And some pay the price with their lives. Just weeks ago, 14-year-old Nitin from Manikwar village in Rewa was walking home from school when he was bitten by a stray dog. His family rushed him to the hospital. He was given anti-rabies shots and they thought the danger had passed. But weeks later, Nitin began having violent tremors, and by the time he was taken to Rewa Medical College, doctors said it was too late. In Noida, a woman fell off a ramp in her society when stray dogs attacked her. In Karnataka's Chitradur, a young girl between 6 and 9 years was attacked by stray dogs. A shocking video has surfaced showing at least 2 dogs chasing the little girl. And this comes from a state where in Bengaluru, the civic body sanctioned a 2.88 crore budget to feed stray dogs chicken and rice. At the end, the big question emerges, who is responsible? You won't believe this, but this issue now has become the #1 talking point in the nation. The matter even reached the Supreme Court today. On the issue of feeding dogs, even the Supreme Court today remarked, if you're so keen on feeding them, do it at home. And there is a reason for this alarm. In 2023 alone, over 30 lakh dog bite cases were reported in India. And in 2024, the number still stood at a staggering 22 lakh. What's worse is that 20% of the victims were children under the age of 15. We're all quite proud of India's statistics. But here is a shameful one. India now accounts for 36% of all rabies deaths globally, according to the World Health Organization. Now, this is no longer a rogue concern between animal lovers and those who've had the traumatic experiences. This is a public health emergency. The only question remains, which side do you stand on?
In high-rise societies, on streets, on main roads, it's become a burning issue of national safety. Watch these videos. A 3-year-old in Hubballi dragged and brutally attacked by 2 stray dogs. In Chitradurga, a 9-year-old attacked by stray dogs. She survived only after locals rescued her. In Uttar Pradesh's Greater Noida, a resident suffered spinal fracture after being attacked by dogs. The woman fell from a first-floor walkway as the dog charged towards her. In Porbandar, a 2-month-old baby was mauled and eaten by stray dogs. In Jalandhar, a woman is dragged, pulled and attacked by half a dozen dogs. Watch. In Indore, a college girl brutally attacked by 4 dogs. In Telangana's Karimnagar, a stray dog jumps towards a child and pins him to the ground. In Uttar Pradesh's Kushinagar, stray dogs come in a pack. They drag around and attack the child. Most of the victims in these cases are little children and women. "48 people have died in 2024 in dog bite related cases. Yet, the biggest security menace in India remains unaddressed. In fact, Congress government in Karnataka is ready to spend funds to feed biryani to stray dogs. The top court has come down heavily and told the petitioners, feed them in your house or open shelter in your own house. Top court asked the petitioners whether they go cycling in the mornings. Try it one day and see what happens. In 2024, there were 1.7 lakh dog bite cases as per NCERT. 2024 records suggest there are 60 million stray dogs in India. It's a complete civic mess. But dog lovers compound the problem. But should it not be human lives over stray dog menace?
I am joined on the debate by Shri Vijay Goyal, former Minister of State and social activist. I'm joined by political commentator Lokesh Jindal. I also have well-known animal welfare activist Gauri Moleki. Senior journalist Ravio Rodriguez joins us on the debate, and so does Adnan Khan, who's a well-known dog behavior specialist. And I want to start this debate by making it very clear that we do need a solution to this dog menace. And let me begin with asking you, Mr. Goyal, because when the Supreme Court today said, and I quote, that there is space for these animals, but no space for humans. Is it not speaking the language that I think a lot of people in India would want to ask and would want to question? They're really focusing on the menace that these street dogs have become. Mr. Goyal.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट की
जी
इंटरवेंशन है और जो टिप्पणी है आवारा कुत्तों को लेकर, वो बिल्कुल सही है कि जो अपने आप को एनिमल लवर्स कहते हैं वो इन कुत्तों को गोद ले लें और अपने घरों में जाकर खिलाएं जाके, ना कि पब्लिक स्ट्रीट पे और ना कि किसी के घर के सामने। और ये समस्या केवल दिल्ली की नहीं है, ये पूरे देश की है जी। ये जो कुत्तों की आवारा स्ट्रे डॉग्स की जो अभी पॉपुलेशन है वो 12 करोड़ से ज़्यादा है और ये पूरे देश के अंदर फैली हुई है। और खाली इस सुप्रीम कोर्ट की नहीं, इससे पहले नागपुर, मुंबई, पंजाब, हरियाणा, दिल्ली, कई कोर्ट्स की जजमेंट्स आ चुकी हैं इसके बारे में, स्ट्रे डॉग्स के बारे में, पर कोई गवर्नमेंट सुनने को तैयार नहीं है। इसलिए जो सो कॉल्ड एनिमल लवर्स हैं इनकी संख्या बड़ी कम है, पर ये चिल्लाते ज़्यादा हैं। इसलिए हो ये रहा है कि ये जो स्ट्रे डॉग्स अटैक कर रहे हैं, आपको मालूम है दिल्ली के अंदर हर रोज 2000 बाइट के केसेस आते हैं, 2000 आरएमएल के अंदर लाइनें लगी हुई हैं जी, और कोई सोल्यूशन नहीं हो रहा। ये लोकल बॉडीज ने करना होता है और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की जिम्मेदारी है, पर लोकल बॉडीज ने जो अंडर ओबीसी रूल्स वैक्सीनेशन और स्टरलाइजेशन करना है उस पर हाथ झाड़े बैठे हैं। तो जो दिल्ली के अंदर अभी 7 लाख कुत्ते हैं वो 60 लाख कुत्ते हो जाएंगे थोड़े दिनों के अंदर और लोग देखते रहेंगे। हमारे पास हजारों, हमारे पास थाउजेंड्स फोन आते हैं इस बात के लिए कि हमारी गली के अंदर कुत्ते, आवारा कुत्ते, स्ट्रे डॉग्स बहुत ज्यादा हो गए हैं। कई लोगों ने अपनी गलियों का नाम कुत्ते वाली गली रख दिया है, वहां काम करने के लिए कोई आने के लिए तैयार नहीं है। इसलिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बिल्कुल ठीक कहा है, जिनको कुत्तों से इतना प्यार है वो गोद ले लें और अपने घरों के अंदर जाकर खिलाएं।
And what Mr. Goyal is saying is not an exaggeration by any point. Savio, you wanted to come in, but let me just read out the statistics to you. What he's saying is not an exaggeration. People have actually started naming the streets like that. Gauri, I'll come to you. Gauri, I'll come to you, but let me just tell the viewers. Let me just tell the viewers. Uttar Pradesh, stray dog goes out biting on a biting spree, attacks 17 people in an hour. These are recent incidents that I'm talking about. Karnataka, a 6-year-old girl was mauled to death by street dogs. Let me just give out certain incidents that why are we debating this tonight? In Madhya Pradesh, 6 people were bitten together by dogs. In Goa, a 20-month-old girl was declared dead in the hospital after she was mauled by dogs. Now, a 20-month-old mauled by dogs? Gauri, I really do not know. You have a right to fight for street dogs, but India is reporting on an average about 25 lakh dog bite cases every year. What are we going to do? Gauri.
To respond, Mr. Goyal has gone on for, such a long time, uninterrupted. You have to give him some time now.
Go ahead, please.
So, the Supreme Court heard a matter where the Honorable High Court of Allahabad specifically said that while people have the right to feed dogs, that is under the law made by the central government, it should be balanced so that people living in the neighborhoods are also not, inconvenienced. Perfectly good order. And Supreme Court made a stray observation which has been blown out of proportion in the media. I would call upon the media to refrain from misinformation. On the other hand, the ABC program or the Animal Birth Control program is riddled with corruption. The Municipal Corporation of Delhi for the past 20 years has been conducting this program. Not a single project of theirs is recognized by the government of India till date. Not a single one of them. All of them are running in complete corruption. ये ABC करते नहीं हैं, सिर्फ ABC के बिल भरते हैं. They're only, for instance, now Mr. Goyal, going by Mr. Goyal's, survey report, which basically doesn't exist, but he's saying there are about 7 lakh dogs in Delhi. About 20 lakh dogs have been billed for surgeries. Where are these dogs that are being billed for surgeries? Surgeries ho hi nahi rahe. Then there's no ABC happening. Only ABC billing is happening, and Delhi is not the only one. It's happening across the country because there is no monitoring happening. There's supposed to be a central monitoring committee. It's according to the Supreme Court's order, according to the central government's own rules, that monitoring committee has not met ever. So if that monitoring committee meets, asks for compliance, checks on these ABC programs, then corruptions would go down and dogs will actually be sterilized. The population will come down, rabies will come down. Everything is all about...
No, but Gauri, let me just tell you, you are saying that this is responsible for the dog menace. That is precisely what you're saying. You're saying this is exactly what is causing the dogs to bite, to maul, to kill people, to kill children. I'm worried about those pictures that are running on our screen, Gauri. I'm worried about these pictures that are on our screen. And I think all dog lovers are free to go to court and debate this in the court there. But the common man will only debate on these pictures that are going on right now. These stray dogs, have they not become a menace? Savio is smiling there. Savio, I've been told that you are a dog lover. But what has the court said? Do you go cycling in the morning? Try it one day and you will find out what this menace is. Why will the court say that?
I do go cycling. 1 second. The problem you guys are making it out to be is the dogs. The dogs are not the problem. It's managing the stray dogs that's the problem. So let the government understand the problem better. We're all blaming the dogs. The point of the matter is the dog's going to behave in the nature of the dog. What have we done as the government to ensure that the stray dog menace is taken control of? Where are the measures put in place? Mr. Goyal is talking about measures, but can he truly ask himself, have the measures been put in place? Have the measures in most states been put in place? Why are you blaming the dogs? The dogs are not creating themselves to be stray. We don't have a responsibility or a job for the dogs themselves. What have we done? Can you please look at the real figures? Yes,
Savio, let me tell you, Savio, there are these high-rise societies in Delhi, Mumbai, Gurgaon, where people are ready to do all they can to feed the street dogs, but they are not able to adopt them, take them home. My simple question is exactly what the court is asking. Why can't you adopt them and take care of them? You want to feed them and let them be on the street to attack little children? So if the government is not doing... Savio. The onus for everything does not lie on the government. There are certain ownerships that need to be taken by citizens themselves and the so-called dog lovers. The so-called dog lovers. Lokesh Jindal, can I get you into the debate?
To love dogs.
Yes.
See, I am very clear. I am very clear, Savio. There are certain ownerships that need to be taken by so-called dog
There
lovers.
is no-
You
so the
cannot
ownership
stand
should
for
be
dog
taken by
rights and let them maul children. I absolutely understand you questioning the government, but there are certain things that you need to take care of. Lokesh, he's saying it's the government that is
certainly.
responsible. It's the government that is responsible. It all lies on their shoulder. Why are you making such a big hue and cry over these stray dogs?
No,
All the figures Joel has spoken are wrong.
If at all a person is feeding stray dogs and he is causing the stray dog population to grow, the person is also responsible for all the events that take place because of the increase in the stray dog population. If this stray dog bites any person, recently we had a kabaddi player dying of rabies. We have seen individual small children mauled by the stray dogs. Then that person is equally responsible for this gruesome incident. In fact, I welcome the Supreme Court's judgment. The Supreme Court is absolutely right.
There is no judgment to welcome.
And
Sorry,
when
there is
when
no
we are
judgment to welcome. The Supreme Court just asked a question. It is not in any order. It's not recorded anywhere except being blown up by
you're grossly
There is no
mistaken.
judgment.
A person
Please go do
cannot
your homework
say
before you come to a TV debate. There is no judgment to celebrate.
At his own merry will, feed a stray dog. Feeding a stray dog
Feeding
is
a
not
stray dog or
person's
feeding
right.
a stray cow or feeding birds is something that Hindu culture has done for hundreds of years, millions of years.
No, madam,
we have lived alongside our animals for whatever.
Hindu culture,
You just come back from
Hindu
some
culture
country and then you want all the dogs out. No, that is part of Sanatan Dharma to actually feed whatever animals we have to feed.
These animals are being fed irresponsibly, and how these animals are causing immense distress to small children, old people,
there is no distress.
women,
It is basically
and it is almost
scientific
causing
to feed these animals
deaths
and
in the
keep it
urban
friendly.
areas.
Forget it. Forget anything that animal husbandry says. Forget the lover and hater debate. Just remember what the National Center for Disease Control has said about it. The NCDC has come up with a rabies action plan, national action plan on rabies control. They say that only animal birth control will work.
I just feel that you cannot tell this to the mother of a 20-month-old who was mauled by dogs that this is what Sanatan Dharma
So what do you do? What do you do? If
No,
one accident
all
has
I'm
happened
saying
and
is,
going
can you
cut
say
down
this
7
to the
lakh
mother of a 20-month-old who was mauled by dogs? The children who died because of dog bites? And these have been violent incidents. When you see them on camera, you're scared, you're horrified. And there are people living in societies, in cities who are scared of seeing, they're scared of the sight of these stray dogs. What do you tell them? Sanatan Dharma is teaching you to be feeding them.
Disease Control has come up with a national action plan. Nobody reads it. Everybody who thinks, that they like dogs or don't like dogs, just start making up solutions on their own.
All right. Before I go to Adnan, let me just ask Mr.
Goyal. The municipal corporations have to be held accountable to the NAP, the National Action Plan on Rabies Control, which only says that the ABC program has to be implemented. Have you ever bothered to read the DGHS, the Director General Health Services order, which says that every dog bite has to be recorded as pet dog bite or street dog bite? More than half the dog bites that are reported in hospitals come from pet dogs. Has any state even started doing that?
Let me take that answer from
because
Mr.
the central government's direction are falling on deaf ears.
Gauri Malekha on the debate says that the government is not taking action on the directives that have been put forth for them.
The central
government is not acting.
Right. Ministry of Health
And
Family
they are
Welfare
responsible for this menace.
Scientific instructions given directions.
Right, let me take a reply. Let me take a response.
States are
Mr. Goyal.
देखिए मैं ये गौरी को चुप कराएंगे गौरी को 2 मिनट गौरी हमें भी बोलने दो
जी
देखिए सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम क्या है सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम आज ये सो कॉल्ड स्ट्रीट डॉग फीडर्स प्रॉब्लम हो गए हैं जी स्ट्रे डॉग से भी ज़्यादा ये प्रॉब्लम हो गए हैं क्योंकि जब भी एमसीडी की गाड़ी या लोकल बॉडी